All right, you guys fire away.
What stands out to you about Clemson and what they do?
Yeah, Clemson. Some teams you face, there's an extreme amount of talent, and then some teams you face, and they're just tough and they're together. And I'm not saying Clemson's not talented, because they have talent. But when you watch them play, I mean, they just try to beat you up all game. They have size, especially interior size. They got guys that are 6'8" to 6'11" across the board, and they all look like they're 35 years old and just finished a 9 to 5. And that's the way they play. They just abuse you in the paint. They're very methodical with the way they play, but they're tough, they're physical. They do all the little things right. And so this will be, in terms of game plan, a lot of it will boil down to who's the tougher team on that night. And, like I said, some teams just have top-end talent. You have to worry about one or two guys. Clemson's pretty deep. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys that can all go for anywhere between 10 and 20 points on any given night. So game plan-wise, we're gonna do a few things differently. But most of it's going to boil down to what we've been preaching in terms of our defense, our rebounding, and battling in the paint.
Do you talk to Chanty at all about it being a go-back game for him?
Yeah, we've done this earlier in the season in terms of like quote-unquote revenge games, and it hasn't worked well for us so far in terms of like the extra motivation. I think we're in a really good place. Chauncey's been super helpful. He actually popped in our coaches meeting this morning to help us with some of the play calls. We have all their offense scouted pretty heavily, but a lot of times you don't know the play calls. And it's the weirdest thing in college. No teams want to help each other. In the NBA, everyone shares everything. So you got every play call. But in college, it's like the secret, like, what are we doing? But Chauncey came in the meeting and he's like, that's what this call, this is what this call, this is what this call, this is the second action. And even during practice today, we were running through some of the plays, and he basically became a coach of like, all right, if they don't have this option, this is what they like to do on the backside. So it's been super helpful having someone that's played at Clemson and obviously knows their system inside and out. But in terms of making a big deal about it, we're not going to make a big deal. Chauncey's in a great place right now. Our guys are in a great place. It doesn't really matter who we're playing. We're going to try to play the same way and keep doing the same things we've been doing over the last 6 weeks.
He give you good insight on RJ. I think they're pretty good friends, from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's natural for him to have relationships. I mean, he's there for a long time. I always, I love, first of all, playing in games against local talent, like the Florida game and the Miami game for me, because you grow up with a lot of those kids. But for him, to be in that locker room for the last 3 years, naturally he's going to have relationships. And even in film this morning when we were going through personnel, he gave some tidbits that you just can't pick up on film. So again, it's been really valuable for us to have him going into this game.
You guys go on the road. A couple of the games that you've had, some of your better games have been on the road. What is it about this team that they just kind of galvanize when they're away from home?
Yeah, I think you asked that in the press conference too, and now I've had a few days to think about it. It's you. And I said there might be too many distractions in Tallahassee. I don't know, but I do know this. Our team's coming together in a really good way, and on the road, off the court, I mean, you're forced to just hang out. There's nothing else to do. You're in a hotel. We always try to get in the arena the night before. So we'll practice, we'll fly, we'll have some downtime where they have study hall and get their academics. And then we'll go shoot at night, either before or after dinner. But all the other free time, everyone's just kind of in the hotel together. And I think it's been good for our guys and their relationships off the court to hang out. They play cards. They play some game called Imposter that I've never heard of, but they love it. I mean, it's like little kids camp. They're all in a circle and playing these games. But I do think that helps you on the court. Building those relationships and spending that time and bonding together, I think has helped our guys. And then I just think we're highly motivated right now. Obviously you guys have covered us all year. We've had some really tough moments throughout the year. And these guys didn't want to waste this season away. And so it doesn't really matter where we play, home, road. I think they're highly motivated going into every game.
Is there a moment, this might be hard to say, you might be able to say, maybe not really. Is there a moment you look back as kind of a galvanizing moment, the moment where things came together when things were going bad, or is it more just like stacking good days and stacking good games that led to where the improvement to where you are?
Yeah, I don't know if I can pinpoint one moment. Everyone's going to talk about the NC State game, and that was certainly for the coaching staff a moment of like, guys, we have to adjust. We can't keep getting our teeth kicked in. We just lost the worst loss in the history of Florida State at home, and it's unacceptable. And so I think from a coaching staff perspective, that was probably the moment. And there was a couple moments through the year where conversations got heated in terms of what we were doing, how we were doing it, how we were practicing, what our schedule was. All those things come up. So when things aren't working, you can't just keep repeating. I mean, I don't know who would do that. And so certainly that NC State game was a moment for our staff where we wanted to adjust a few things very quickly, like the next day. And it started with what we were working on. It started with our practice. It started how intense our practice is. It started with the things that we're asking the guys to do. We can't ask them to do if you don't work on it enough. And so every single day, we try to get a competitive defensive drill and a competitive rebounding drill. And we try not to let a day go by. Doesn't matter if it's a game day, doesn't matter what the rest of the practice looks like, but we're not working on that. Because if you give up 113 at home, you can't contain the ball, you're giving up wide open shots, you're giving wide open layups, something's got to change. And I think our habits from that moment changed. And our guys, I think once you start drilling competitive habits where there's nowhere to run, I think their mentality changes. And the words mean something, but the action means more. And so we're asking you guys to compete. I know I got in some of those earlier press conferences, I kept talking about our compete level. I had to take a look in the mirror, like how much do you work on competing in practice? So by the time you show up for the game, it's just a habit. And to me, those are the biggest things we adjust. And we tweaked a few things offensively, defensively, just to simplify. But those were the big things to me that had a real impact on, you could say wins and losses, but at least being in every game.
Just got to go back to what Liam's question was. A lot of other coaches have said, like, you guys look like you're playing connected. And I don't think they know that was your motto when you first got here, or the hashtag or whatever. So what is it like to kind of hear that just said from other people around?
I think that's the biggest compliment. Two things. The biggest compliment as a coach when you're running a program to hear is you guys play really hard and you guys play together. And that's what the whole connected thing was for me. To me, all the championship level teams and programs, you can watch it and you can feel the connectivity. You can feel the togetherness. And part of that, the playing hard come to me as a byproduct of that, because when someone's not playing hard, if you're a connected group, you're calling them out. Like, you're not bringing it today. If we're going to be connected, I'm going to keep it real with you. And so I didn't know other coaches were saying that, but that is great to hear. And that's the way we want to, not just this season, that's the way we want to build this program. We every time out, we'll win some, we'll lose some, we'll make shots, we'll miss shots, but if we can outwork the opponent and we can play together, we're going to have a really good chance every time we line them up.